Unmuted.
And we are back, and we are unmuted. Welcome back, friends. I'm going to go ahead and pull Arnon off, and we're going to make Galvin at least neutral. So Arnon will also eventually make himself invisible and make his exit. He's surprisingly quiet given how loudly he was stomping around before. Once he's invisible, like those of you with very high perceptions can tell he's still in the room for a little while. But for the most part, like he's surprisingly stealthy at that time. So what's the plan, friends? What's the first thing we do now that the immediate situation has been resolved?
Calder will make his way toward the middle of the room and look around for something, and then start tracing stuff on the floor.
Okay.
Krisa is going to actually come over to Echo. If anybody's gonna understand what the fuck's going on with her, it's gonna be Echo.
I'm like, I stopped the dude from stabbing himself. Does he seem calm enough that I could let go? He's not going to immediately just try to do it again, or do I need to like cast calm emotions on this one?
Give me another insight, please. I believe, do we have anything in the chat at the moment? I don't think we have any bonuses, but I'm going to give you a +2 anyway, because this guy is wearing his heart on his sleeve. So take a +2, do an insight.
Oh, come on. For skill check, I don't actually fail it, but just a 10. Is a 10 enough to read him?
You're pretty sure you got to take the knife away from him.
I'm going to take the knife away from him, and I'm going to cast calm emotions on him.
Okay. There's a save for that, right?
There is. Charisma saving throw. He can choose to fail it if he wishes.
No. What's he going for? He got a 14.
Fuck, what the fuck is my fucking spell DC? Fuck.
8 plus your wisdom modifier.
DC 15, so he met it.
Awesome. No, he got a 14.
Oh, he's a -1. Okay, then yeah, it succeeds. Okay, so his let me see, there's two different effects I can put on him. Either I can make him indifferent, or I can suppress any effect causing the target to be charmed or frightened. Now that's what I'm doing.
So as a storyteller, I am going to give a small out of character nudge here that enchantment magic that directly affects the mind isn't slavery, but it is kind of sort of along the path. What you're doing isn't evil, it's not horrible, it's not bad, you're protected, but just bear in mind.
And it doesn't put a charmed effect on him. It specifically does not.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm intending to use it for is to brunt the extreme adrenaline in his system so that he doesn't make super impulsive decisions. And I'm literally telling him this out loud, that I have cast magic on you. I've used it a little bit on other people to help people be calmer and make more rational decisions when adrenaline and other things and pain are riding really high. You took a lot of damage. You've had a lot of extreme life changes happen within the past 5 minutes. So I just wanted to give you this space to maybe take a breather and think a little calmer about things. As you are right now, would you like me to remove the spell?
I'm going to say that he sits down on the floor and sort of stares at like sort of staring at his hands, and he is not going to respond. He's just going to sit on the floor and kind of mutely look down.
Okay, I can keep it up to a minute. So unless I get any other direct communication from him, I'm going to be standing next to him, keeping it up for the minute.
So Calder is drawing runes. Echo is casting magic. What's Kreetha up to at this time?
Kreetha is, well, she's quick checking on Echo and kind of looking over at Calder because, you know, everything just kind of came in mise en scene, as it were.
Echo looks a little fucked up, yeah.
He's a little fucked up.
little fucked up. Like
Still
he
fucked
healed
up?
a little. Like, oh, okay, he's slightly fucked up. There's a
Okay,
huge
cool.
bruise on the
So
side of his
I
face.
I did go ahead and prepare my new cleric spells.
Yes.
And one of the ones that I kept was Healing Word.
Hey.
It's a good one.
It's not Cure Wounds, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be touching anybody. So
No, it's a great spell.
I'm going to go ahead and kind of lean over a little bit.
What is the word that Kreitha says in order to heal Echo's remaining wounds? And in what language?
Kreitha leans over and it's in Dwarven. It's now always going to be an ancient Dwarven. Any of her spell words are going to be an ancient, including the ones that used to be in Goblin.
Weird.
That'll fuck you up later. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it will. It will. It will. And she is going to say mend in ancient Dwarven.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. The swelling goes down.
Yeah.
He took like 2 hits to the head from that guy's hammer.
Thomas kind of looks around. Thomas kind of looks around to see if any of the Dwargar are still around, and he like begins to rummage through his bag again.
I swear to God, if you pull out a baby grand piano, I'm gonna have a moment.
Right.
I'm
not going to cast this. I'm not going to cast it just yet, but I'm ready for when I need it.
Okay.
How long do we have this spell of magic talking left?
It's an hour, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but Echo is asking Thomas in character, how long would we have this up?
He looks up and he sort of strokes his mustaches for a moment, and he says, 45 more minutes, perhaps?
All right, I'm walking back into the forge room and going to the forge, the specific one that I dropped Durgeddin in.
And let's talk to Vic as well, because as you're coming back into the forge room, what is Victoire up to?
Okay, so Vic has moved off of like fixing, and like there is some very obvious like chalk marks on both of the both of the iron golems, like in the same way that like a surgeon would make marks before that they do all of their cutting and shit. So it's like you can see that there's very clearly upgrades planned here. Can't tell what they are, but there's definitely upgrades planned. But Vic has moved in onto like the ground and is starting to like clean effectively. There's a lot of like dust and stuff, but you can see that she's like weeding out carvings in the stone so that they're clean. She's shifted again and is using like the big thick nails of her shifted form.
So Kreitha is kind of passing you and is going to do the same thing that she was kind of doing. Not the heal. You don't look fucked up, do you?
No, I don't
know. Vic is not taking any damage.
Okay, yes. So merely just kind of passing by and kind of gently touching like the shoulder that's closest to her and just going, is everything good?
Yeah, there's a lot of bits that aren't correct here that I feel like I actually am gonna have to like fix in order for the forge to get like functional. Like, no offense,
I was in fact going to ask, the main forge, the one that your dog is currently sniffing around, there are some pieces within the back of that forge that could use realigning, if you have a moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking about doing. There's a fair amount of like fiddly bits to get this even up and running that I feel like because I've seen them, I have to do it.
And in fact, as Vic is sort of sweeping up, you find that under the detritus on the ground, there are a good solid number of carved and inlaid runes in the floor that Vic is sort of uncovering, and some of them have scratches across them, some of them have damage to them, some of them have little bits of stuff growing in them. But as Vic begins to sort of clean up, you find that the flickering light of the forge begins to be a little bit more consistent. Rather than the flickering of a candle, it's more like the glow of a forge. And even just a few minutes of cleaning up brings a measure of stability back to the magic of the forge.
The thing is that there are actually like multiple openings, so more than one, like multiple people can work at a time, and we have only gotten one lit right now. So I feel like this is going to be a project that I have to do.
Well, I am here with you.
Are you?
You have help.
And that's the voice in common over the room. Have you
Yes, I
made
am.
your decision, Andoril? Are you remaining, or will you continue? Understand that your choice is your own. I do not judge either way. And if you decide you will go forth and continue to fight, I will join you. If we can restore the weapon, if we can create the weapon, I will happily join you on the field of battle. I will not abandon you. But if you remain, we can begin to restore this forge.
I would like to stay. Allow me, though, to ask of one other person that I feel like needs to be in this decision, and that is King Barnabas.
Which leads me to my question. Durgeddin,
Yes, Mr. Creed.
does this castle have a teleportation circle? Your advisor was a great wizard.
There's the light dims a little bit. Yes.
That's a fucking question.
Yes.
That's a good question.
It is coming back to me now. I do recall there is, within Andoril's old bedroom, there is a passage that can lead to a circle. It's a very heavily guarded secret. I'm sure you understand why we would not want such a thing to be common knowledge. As far as I know, there is no living being currently that knows the signature to the circle.
I point at Creeper.
It might be in those memories.
Yes.
But critically, it means that if I could find the circle, I could reactivate it.
Yes, I do believe you could.
Right? I should go find that, and the last time I was here, it was not terribly hospitable.
I think you will find that you are much more welcome at this time. I do have one small request. The shrine where my body lies. Brick it up. I cannot imagine a more honorable burial place than where I fell in battle. Will you do this for me?
We will see you properly entombed as you wish. But you'll pardon us if there are a few other efforts that take priority at the moment.
Of course, yes. And in fact, speaking of priorities, do you still have the weapon? Do you still have the flawed weapon that you showed me earlier?
I explicitly left it by the forge.
Yeah.
Before we make any further decisions, perhaps we should restore this blade and ensure that what we do has meaning. Ensure that we truly can do what I believe we can do. Together, we can create a weapon that either will house my soul, or perhaps simply something that will protect you and yours going forward.
Very well.
Plan weapons.
Vic,
So
would you do me a solid?
What do you need?
I don't know how to work a forge.
Are you the one forging? I thought
Well,
that
it is
these
my
are-
it is my terribly warped and broken sword.
it will take
I mean, if
an effort of all of you. This piece must be as much a part of each of you as it is of me. Kretha will do the shaping, I believe. She understands now how the forge works as well as I do. Victor, my power has already stabilized since you began. I can direct you and tell you which runes to restore, which pieces of machinery to bend back into place, so that we can manage this.
okay.
Calder, your knowledge of the flows of energy would be indispensable in ensuring that heat is applied evenly and that the magical force is applied evenly to the blade. And
In
Echo,
theory, I can do this.
Huh?
we could use a bit of luck.
Yeah, sorry, hold that 1 second. What languages do you speak? This isn't gonna last very long. What language? Echo is trying to figure out how he's going to continue to converse with this dude.
I believe that Kretha's new mastery of the ancient tongue of the dwarves will be enough to at least make yourselves understood. The Dwergar have their own language that is an offshoot of ancient Dwarven. You'll perhaps understand only 2 words in 3, but you should be able to communicate.
Cool. Okay. Buddy, pal, Galvin. You come with me into the other room? Are we okay for moving? Are you cool to stand and follow me into the... I'm Echo. Hi.
He silently stands up and sort of takes position behind you.
By this point, calm emotions is over.
Yeah, so he stands up quietly, and
I offer him a hand.
he does not take it. He stands on his own.
No, I mean like once we're walking to like hold hands.
No, and in fact, he, as you walk forward, stays exactly 1.5 paces behind you as you're moving. It's a little bit disconcerting, but he's not like in your personal space.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, okay, all right, this is fine. This is kind of like a few line dances that we did as part of performances for things. I can get with it. It's fine, whatever. As Echo gets
accidentally starts dancing the whole way.
As Echo gets close to the door, eyeing the iron golems, he's gonna call it, "Hey, Durgeddin, I'm gonna need you to be real cool. Galvin's with me. He's with us."
Hold on. The moment you say I'm going to need you to be real cool, the light of the forge dims to the barest glow. And the temperature in the room like drops to the point where you can feel it.
Now he's got
Vic
jokes.
like immediately starts freaking out.
Not what we meant.
You know what I meant.
The light begins to come back up.
I'm gonna take that as a good humor show of faith. You're not gonna kill my new dude. He walks in and it's like, all right, where do we need to look?
The iron golems continue to stand at attention. They do not make any aggressive moves.
Cool.
Galvin, you have just entered a very exclusive brotherhood.
Okay. I don't know if he's ready to process that yet. Just like looking over my shoulder.
Oh, I have a feeling he's not going to have a choice before too long.
Cool. Okay. All right.
That matters.
I've still got some magic to throw around. You need something blessed. You need something
So you need my power and
you need something blessed.
So, the first question
Or guidance. I
is-
could do guidance. Guidance is fine.
The first question is, are we forging this blade as a blade that can be a vessel for the soul of Durgeddin, or are we forging it to be a powerful weapon unto its own without the need of Durgeddin's spirit? You have a choice. We can make it more, or assuming that you pass the skill challenge that's coming up, you can turn it into a similar weapon to what Kreitha had already, a transforming weapon that allows Durgeddin to fill it so that it is the belt of dwarven kind, blah, 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 the same thing that it was before. Or I will allow you all to choose a weapon from the DMG, from the list of weapons that is a +3 or less equivalent. I'm going to allow you all to decide what you want this weapon to be.
Are we making 4 weapons or 1 weapon?
This is a weapon.
Yeah.
Utilizing the flawed sword that Calder can provide. I can give you the ability to make one weapon of surpassing power. Not quite a Holy Avenger, Psychanthrope, although good idea. We'll say something like a sword of sharpness or less.
Aw.
Like a Vorpal sword is not happening here, not yet.
I was just looking at this dwarven thrower. It's only a +3.
Seems
But it has
reasonable.
to be a sword, right?
It's a warhammer.
Unless you decide to make the Durgeddin weapon that can transform. Yes,
It's gotta be
we're talking about the general size and shape of a sword.
Okay.
I mean, Kreitha's vote would probably be the Durgeddin weapon that can transform, because she does kind of the idea that she is now without it is kind of bothersome to her, but she's also aware that this is not her weapon, it is a group decision. So she's just
Durgeddin also
kind of
expresses
very confused.
this to be his desire as well, because such a weapon could be fashioned into a smith's hammer later on.
Yeah.
But also it would allow him to go forth with Kreitha should she decide to continue adventuring, which I believe she will for at least a little bit.
not to put too fine a point on it, but it's not a group decision. We're all helping. But
Let's
I'm the
just
one that
go.
I'm the one that dragged the motherfucker out of this place over almost a year ago. I say we get I say we make it a vessel for Durgeddin.
Yeah, it's just, I see you're channeling a little bit of divine shit now, Kreitha, and it's just, if you wanted to go for a divine sword, there's this thing called a Holy Avenger.
But
So
the
that's-
problem is
that's
this
more of a
my
paladin-y
divinity
thing.
is from Durgeddin.
Durgeddin had utility beyond simply being a crossbow.
In that case, Victor, would you please open the panel on the back of the active forge?
Vic will pop that shit open like it's a can of spinach.
So, Vic, is
Vic.
you open it up and you are immediately overwhelmed by the sheer elegance of the design that you're looking at. This
That's
forge,
much better than fire.
this forge is not at maximum capacity. You definitely see pieces that need to be moved back into place, but it is a flawless blending of both mechanical heat management and magical directing flows of power. And you immediately intuit that if brought up to full power, this thing can imbue basically any weapon that is forged on it. And as you look through, your mind begins to recognize that this forge and the 4 others that are in the room could be used to legitimately mass produce magical weapons.
Yeah.
Like making a magical sword is not normally an easy thing to do. It takes months and a ton of investiture of energy. Here, in this place, it is just as easy as making an ordinary weapon. In the hands of the right people with the right skills, once it's all up and running, making a magical sword will be as easy as making an ordinary sword in any other forge.
Just if you want to go for more of an evil take on things, there's a 9 life stealing sword, a sword of life stealing, a sword of wounding. You know, there's just these legendary. We did this performance once, like based on legendary swords of legend, and like there's a lot of evil swords out there. If you wanted to go that route.
Was it called the legendary swords of legend?
Yeah, it. I didn't name it.
And again, Vic, I want you to go ahead, and we're going to start the skill challenge.
Okay.
I would like you to go ahead and roll an Arcana check, and that will be at a +2.
Thank you.
And you align some runes. You sort of twist some things into place. You manage to make a few connections that have been severed just by the passage of time. These things happen. You know, magical machinery needs maintenance just like anything, and it's been centuries. The fact that it
Spend some
works at
time.
all is kind of honestly really impressive. Calder,
Yes.
I would like you to go ahead. Actually, no, we're going to talk Durgeddin first. Durgeddin says, Calder,
All right.
there is a bellows, as it were. It's not simply a bellows, but you should see it. It's on the far right side of the forge. Do you see it?
I do.
Now,
I think.
if you can time this properly, you can sense the flows of energy, yes?
In a vague sense, I wasn't trained in a traditional manner.
If you can simply pump the bellows at a time that is in line with the rhythm of the magic that is pulsing through the forge.
You're asking Calder to do physical labor? This is great.
Please be a strength roll. So there's another part of it that's like, if this was a video game, this is where we go into the rhythm portion.
And anyone else who can detect the flows of magic can do this, but I believe that's you.
Calder will take a deep breath and we'll just try and concentrate. If the goal is to create is for me to channel a tremendous amount of elemental magic, he'll lift a hand and like crackles of black fire will come off of his palm. I can just cast a spell.
That is definitely going to make this sword evil, so let's not do that.
This will require a sustained effort.
I mean, if you're looking for rhythm.
But yes, if you can direct the energy flows on your own without having to physically pump the bellows. So what I'm going to offer you, Jeff, is either an athletics check, LOL,
Or an acrobatics.
or we'll go ahead and give you an Arcana check as well, so that instead of physically pumping the bellows, perhaps you can tap into your sorceress potential and direct the flows on your own without having to actually touch the thing. So you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check, but I am going to give you a -2 on that because your powers aren't designed for this.
Can I guide him? Will you guide
Yes, you can absolutely give him guidance 100%.
Well, I'm thinking of gaining some assistance, actually.
I'm gonna guide you either way. I see that you're like readying to do this thing, so.
Oh, I'm just gonna. Well, first things first. I'm gonna reach in my bag of tricks and see what I can get with 2 more.
Bag of tricks, awesome. Give me 2 more D12.
You want the giant moose that could just like.
A 12. That must be special.
Hold on. Okay, and what's the other one?
It was a 12 a second time.
Awesome.
roll again.
So we re-roll, but
Yeah. Per the bag, you re-roll when you
One.
hit.
so it's going to be a rat and something else.
So one is actually the weasel. I believe you called him face biter or something along those lines.
That was the badger.
Oh, that was the badger.
It's in
With
my notes.
Face puncher.
Is face chomper. The weasel is nibbles.
The weasel is Nibbles. And on the 12, the first thing that comes out is a giant crab.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Carcinization strikes again.
Snip, 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 snip. He's got some powerful fucking claws.
They're
Like,
all crabs now.
If it's a giant crab, how giant are we talking?
medium sized?
Hold on. I'm going to double check. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's medium sized. I'm just going to take
So it's
take a
dinky
glance.
size. That's scary.
Those are some powerful fucking claws if it's that big.
Giant crab. Oh wait, no, that can't possibly be right. The giant crab I'm seeing is a huge beast. That's
there's a
obviously
giant-
not right.
There is a giant crab that is medium sized.
Yes, it's not the one that's that's in here. Yeah, the giant crab that there it is. Okay, yes, it is medium sized, very pinchy.
All right, you'll do. I will direct it to work the bellows.
I love it.
These claws ain't just for attracting mates.
So yeah,
and then I will work to channel the magics.
okay. I'm gonna erase the -2. So go ahead and give me a straight Arcana check. Always a big fan of creative uses of magical items.
With guidance.
With guidance, so take a
Okay.
plus 1d4.
And
it's a good thing.
Well, I'm also going to see what happens if I spend my sorcery point to try and reroll that.
Okay. Nice.
I'll take.
Go
I'll
ahead
take
and
the
drop
dirty
the extra
20.
1d4 anyway, because you are owed it. Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Okay.
Or
Hell yeah.
So at first it's weird because like the crab is not entirely sure what you want it to do, but it takes a little bit of cajoling and eventually you begin to sort of dip into the flows of energy that are happening. It's once you're there, it's surprisingly easy. And you can
I'm
feel
translating. I'm translating my magic to ancient dwarven magic. I'm trying to find the reconciliation point.
it takes time, obviously. At first, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit off, but as you are really sensing these flows, and as Vic is in the back, like making adjustments, suddenly you're able to tap into the flow of energy, and you're able to smooth it and make sure that it's not flickering like a candlelight, as I said before. And you're able to direct the energy flows in ways that you've never even considered. This is a brand new experience for Calder. You feel yourself sort of not attuning in the game sense, but sort of attuning yourself to the flows of magic within the forge. Echo. I'm gonna say that once Kreetha picks up, Kreetha is gonna, I imagine, pick up one of the forge hammers.
Yeah.
And is going to be relying on Echo for guidance.
Guidance
Kreetha,
here, guidance there.
did I give you? I don't think I did. I'm checking Kreetha's character sheet. I did not, unfortunately, give you or I'm just going to add one right now if I can. I'm just going to add Smith's tools.
Yeah. I forgot to grab that because when I tried to click on it, it wasn't clickable in my
We're going to call it a dexterity thing, and we are going to give you proficiency in it as part of your Forge Cleric, as part of your initiation into the Forge Clerics. So, you now have a Smith's Tools skill on your character sheet. I would like you to go ahead and roll that. Take a +2. And then once you've rolled it, roll another 1d4 for Echo's guidance.
All right. So where do I find?
It's under skills. It should be
Okay.
in between sleight of hand and stealth.
I see 2 sleight of hands.
I do
Could it-
see 2 sleight of hands as well. I don't know
And
why
I-
that is.
Also see something that has Dex at the top that has no name. Oh! It was Smith's tools.
Oh, it's
and it-
because okay, yeah. I for some
I
reason
still
it didn't.
have the
Yeah.
2 sleight of hands, but all right.
We'll
then.
figure it out. For now, go ahead and roll that that Smith's tools.
So I'm rolling
One of
the
them is
Smith's
left-handed, the other
tools.
one's right-handed.
And
So-
now add a d4.
and then add a
roll a
d4.
And a D4.
An 18. So you begin to work on this piece. And working with a flawed sword is not the same as working from stock. It's more challenging. And you are starting with a piece that was already sort of worked by inexpert hands, shall we say.
Yeah.
And as you heat it up in the magic of the forge that is being directed by Durgeddin and Victoire and Calder, it begins to glow. And at first, you're hesitant. At first, your first few taps of the hammer are not confident. But then you almost feel like Durgeddin is holding your hand. I'm imagining the pottery scene from Ghost, except marginally
Except it's
less
more
thirsty,
sexual.
Less sexy.
a little bit less horny, but
Only a little.
like at some point, Durgeddin in your mind says, "You're thinking about this too hard. You understand the grain of the metal. You understand the flow of the magic. Simply allow yourself to strike the metal without overthinking."
Then he calls you Andril, and there's another noise.
I'm going to go ahead and run through those again. But all of you, as you're working on this, lose track of time. Go ahead.
What about Galvin? What did we do with Galvin?
He's following behind me, right? He's still staying within that kind of baby duck follow mode.
Yes.
Okay. Echo is trying to decide whether or not to offer up one or both of his coins as sort of ingots towards this process.
If you
Does
do,
that include the coin you gave off to somebody else?
No, that was the amulet. He has the 2 coins that he got from. Y'all don't know
aren't those
this.
coins
but he got-
wood?
No, they're platinum, and he got handed them by the ghost of his father. Like, there's something weird about they function as holy symbols.
I will go ahead and say that if you give up one of those, it will give Kreetha advantage on her next smithing check. You've succeeded all of the checks so far.
Yeah,
There is still a chance that this doesn't work.
it's
I'm
it's
aiming
a day,
as
it's
as
a day for big
a
swings.
as a skill check. I'm aiming for 7 successes before 3 failures. So far, you have had 3 successes.
Yeah.
So yes, you can absolutely grant advantage to Kreetha. But again, as you are working, and again, the Dwerger sort of sits in the corner and waits until he is addressed. But minutes slip by, then an hour, then 2 hours, and I'm gonna need another Arcana check from Victoire. Take your +2 because this is well within your wheelhouse,
Guidance.
and take guidance. A 21. That's totally fair.
I'm also gonna make a con saving throw against being exhausted and shit.
Yeah, you made it pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like I feel like if we're going nonstop for 2-something hours, contracts for me at least.
How long does the bag of tricks lasts until sunrise, right? Okay, so that's not an issue. Jeff, as your crab is pumping the bellows, how do you want to continue to help in the construction of this blade? What does Calder do to continue to be useful as Kreetha is hammering at the blade?
Calder will. Can we vocalize? Can we talk and coordinate?
Yes.
Like do you need a hotter? Do you need the blade? Do you need the flames to be hotter?
Through asking and almost at first you start asking, hey, should it be hotter? Should we increase or decrease the flow of energy? But after a couple of hours, you stop having to ask. Go ahead and make me another Arcana check and take the plus 1d4 for guidance.
Sure.
Yeah. Just Echo's guiding anyone who's about to attempt a thing.
Oh, well, my question to you, I guess, is the DM is: can I channel like spell slots into helping this somehow?
Yes. What level spell slot are you thinking about sacrificing for this?
A fourth level, the
Excellent.
equivalent of a wall of fire.
Take advantage.
All right.
Excellent.
Plus a d4.
Less than my last check, but somehow I'll survive.
But still
We went
excellent.
4, 3, 2, and 1 on those.
What the hell is Namalni the ghost?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Okay, Kreetha,
That's concerning.
I need you to make 2 more smith checks.
Okay.
Both of them have advantage, and both of them get a d4. Remember to hit the advantage button and then only roll 1d20.
Yeah, Echo does put a coin towards it. This is ghost metal.
Ghost metal.
That didn't. Oh, hold on, it's frozen again.
It's totally
no.
frozen.
Give it a sec.
The other die went
Awesome.
off, so I'm like, I had no idea what it was.
It's fine with
It was
the
a 17.
advantage. That 3 was dropped.
4.
You end up with a 27.
Lucky.
Give me one more. And this is it. This is the final
Is this one
check.
also
It's the
at advantage?
final
Also at
countdown.
advantage because of the platinum, not the platinum specifically, but because of the spiritual energy that you have donated to infuse
So another
into this.
advantage.
With advantage, yes.
Okay. No, it's not going to help if I drag my entire character sheet over there, and that's stealth. Stop that. Sorry, the struggle is real.
And give me the
So-
D4. This is going to be important.
Blink. So that's a 20.
It's a 20.
6 hours of work. You don't even notice it. 6 hours pass.
And then I pass out.
Amazing.
I would like to think that, like, because Echo was the one running around guiding people, that he's like dabbing off their foreheads, like
Yes.
like
No, that's
water
perfect. Yeah, and
down
that makes sense for the guidance spell, right? Because you're providing assistance. And after 6 hours of careful adjustments in the back of the forge, of refining the flows of energy by Calder, Kreetha is able to shape the weapon into a perfect longsword that when she removes it from the forge, Kreetha, you feel an immediate like compulsion to quench the heat of the sword in the river that is swiftly passing through the Forge of Fury.
I do so.
And as you dip the sword into the waters, it begins to glow. And the glow of the forge begins to dim and flow into the sword, which then transforms into the hand crossbow that you are so used to. The light of the forge goes out, and I need everybody to roll a Constitution save except for Vic, because you already did.
Hey, some of us are ahead of times.
Constitution save.
Yes.
Oh,
So at the end of this, once the light of the forge fades, Calder and Echo straight pass out. Vic feels fine. Kreetha, you are suffering currently from a level of exhaustion,
Okay.
but you can feel Durgeddin's essence within the blade, or within the crossbow. I knew you could do it. All of you. He says this aloud. To those of you who can hear. This would not have been possible with any of you alone. Together you can do incredible things.
You'll be back home soon, though. I do promise that.
Yes. I will protect you. I will fight with you. And when we return, we will prepare.
How touching. Now where's the teleportation circle?
you passed out, man. You and me are passed out.
Yeah, you're unconscious.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, Echo specifically, like not right next to the dude, but he will go pass out in the same corner as wherever Galvin ended up. Like walk
Totally.
towards him, give him a tired nod, and just kind of pass the fuck out.
So, we've been doing this for coming up on 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to continue to roleplay for a little bit, or do we want to move to the post game? That's an
I'm
honest
fine.
question. I'm good either
I
way.
have to move on to the post game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have to get going and do stuff like clean my rat
Excellent. We
cages
will go ahead and say that you will have access to the teleportation circle in between games. You will take a long rest between now and next game. And when you begin the next game, the teleportation circle within the Citadel will be yours to command. I would like each of you to be thinking about what the name of this Citadel is. And yes, it is far more extensive than just the rooms you have seen. As you begin to explore, you find that it is most, if not all, of the Stone Tooth. It is
I
a
inform everyone
massive
that
complex.
I will inform everyone that the safe word is Balderdash.
And with that, friends, go ahead.
Castle Balderdash. The end. Moving on.
Citadel Balderdash it is.
No.
and King Balder. I need to know its name. His name is not Balder, but it's also Balder.
And with that, we are going to go ahead and move on to the post-game show. Let's go ahead and get over there.